And we are live in the spooky garden. We have some birds chirping in the morning. And here we are. This is Big Pumpkin. Okay. So yeah, we have some serious birds chirping. It is, early in the morning. We are going to explore this place now. Yeah, it's like with the birds, we don't always know where they come from. They're up in those trees somewhere. Hey, Lemon. Great to see you. Yeah, we are doing walkthrough in the spooky garden. And yeah, what's popping? Yeah, so good morning, Grace. We are in exploring the spooky garden in the early morning, and there's some cool birds chirping that are kind of mysterious because I don't know exactly where they're coming from, but they're coming from somewhere around the trees. So yeah, so that one's getting big, and let's see, because I'll hear the different critters walk around at night, and I don't always know where they're coming from, so it's just kind of fun to see, you know, which ones are coming from where. Yeah. So what's going on is some exploration. We got some moths, and they're getting excited. And yeah, just I don't even know if it rained. It's just there's a lot of morning dew going on with these places. Yeah. So we're going to the area where the crawfish are. See if we see any. Okay. Going this way. Greetings, Sawgirl. All right. It is 5:27 a.m. where I am. Yeah, and there's poison ivy around, so I have to be careful. Yeah, it's 27 p.m. where I am. It's a.m. All right, so chat. Here's a spooky swamp garden right here, and this is the crawfish or crayfish mound, whatever people call them in their regions. And yeah, and this area has some poison ivy, so I have to be careful because I have issues with poison ivy. And yeah, I mean, poison ivy, I've had to get sometimes one time to get some shots so it could stop itching me, but yeah. Anyway, so be careful with poison ivy. Anyway, but this is the. I remember it would get on my arm too, and see if I could show y'all. This is a little bit hard. I don't know if y'all could see this or not, but can't see it. It's a little bit of a scar I have from it. There it is. That's a scar from the poison ivy from a long time ago. So yeah, I had some issues with it, but yeah, the termites. Where I am, I don't think the termites are out where I am just yet, but there may be a couple of them. Okay, so hey everybody, so this is a crawfish mound, and you see it's capped up. Oh, the termites are back where you are. I got you. All right. So be careful, and you have to touch it. And just kind of go like this, and let's see here and here. Okay. So that the reason why there's a big cap on that one is because the crayfish, crawfish, they like to keep the humidity in there. So that's why they have it like that, to keep everything there during the summer. And there's one in there. There's one living in there. Right? And in this region in general. Although we're in the early morning, they usually come out at night. Yeah, I know. And they come out you know, even in this, like where we are on land, on dry land, they come from underground where it's watery, and then they dig up to the top, and with their saliva, they construct that whole thing. And it's like you said, there's noises I'm hearing in there, and I don't even know what it is exactly. Scared. Yeah, I know. And sometimes it's not something we see every single day. It's something kind of rare, but you can see them walking around sometimes, and I'm sure they're inside of there, but I don't mind opening that up to try to find it, but I don't want to like knock it over. But yeah, basically under this thing, this metal cage, there's probably some of them lurking around. Yeah, so this is, I'm hearing mysterious noises. I don't know what they are exactly in the spooky garden, but we are going to maybe see it, maybe not. There's snakes too. So yeah, this is a crayfish crawfish mound, and this is yeah. Thank you, Grace. This is a very swampy region of the area, and this is where these little critters are. What is that? Something? I saw something moving in there, but anyway, that is where they like to reside. Now, there's also all this poison ivy here. I have issues with poison ivy, so I have to be careful. And right there, this is where a giant swamp tree was at one time. And it was pretty big, and my grandpa dismantled it in the like in 2010 or something like that. Or 2009 probably. But I still have the wood from it anyway. So over Grace says, "Do you have venomous snakes?" I probably have venomous snakes. I am not 100% certain though. We definitely have snakes. And I do not have known bears in this region, but up north of me there's bears, but not in this specific spot. Okay, chat, that's another one right there. It's completely covered. Right there, it's completely covered, but that is another one. Another one's living in there. Okay, so last night I had another dream. Little freaky dude was there though. Oh, that creature, the cryptid that y'all see. Okay, tell me about your dream. I'm curious. Okay, you could hear things chirping back here. I don't know if y'all hear it, but there's chirping things back here. They're frogs, I think. They're just like all over the place, all over this area. As I'm like surrounded. But we do hear the birds in the distance. Okay, you were in a house. Okay, Lemon, you were in a house. And I'll tell you this, Grace, a story about this hole was, yeah, they're just all over. They're just plentiful frogs. So this is the swamp area of the spaceship. Is all a swamp. And as I said, there was ancient cypress trees that were here. So it's a really an ancient place at this part. Okay. And had a ground floor. Okay. It only had a ground floor. Okay. A ground floor in a house. Okay. Roger, which I'm sure you know what that means. It means like I understand. Okay, continue. And this is so much fun. Oh yes, absolutely. Okay, so a background. Oh, lots of basements though, so the floors went down. Okay, okay, I got you. And the floors went down. Okay, what happened next? So there used to be. I've talked about this before, but there was a tree stump here, and around 2000s, 20 years ago, right? And I'd say, yeah, 20 years ago, it was here. It was a old, hollowed out stump of a very old swamp tree. And I used to hang out around here because it was very, swampy. And it was probably 1,000 or 100, way over hundreds of years it was here. And I still had the wood from it. So around 2009, I'd say family, my grandpa dismantled it. And so that's why it's not there, but there's still an indentation where it was originally. Okay. And this part right here that you see is where I pulled some weeds, and all of a sudden, that what happened was this kind of indentation of a hole started materializing. So I decided to just dig, and I would dig here for fun and also looking for clay. I would do that over and over again, and I found all kinds of things like bottles and knickknacks from hundreds of years ago. So that was something cool. Then I covered the hole so no one would fall into it. So it's like a mine. But crawfish are all plentiful here because it's a swampy region. So it's still maintained its swampiness, hundreds of years later. All right. Lemon said, and so the first floor had like green wallpaper and lots of bookshelves, and it had to describe it, looked very old timey. Oh, okay. So it was probably from another time period. It was an old fashioned type home. Okay, I got you. And it felt familiar, and even I had it before. Anyway, there was a small staircase and a wall leading to the basement. Number one. Okay, I'm listening. And Grace said, "Did you keep the bottles and knickknacks?" Yeah, yeah, I kept them. There's also some around here, on the sides and stuff. So yeah, it was a lot of fractured and broken bottles. And I read back in the old days, they used to bury their, well, similar to what Lemon was saying, they burn trash where he is. Where what they used to do down here was they used to bury their bottles and things. So 100 years ago, so before they had garbage trucks and stuff here, they would bury their bottles and things down here, and there's plugs and outlets and wires and things that were just empty, right? And what happened was during construction a long time ago, they must have just buried stuff when they were done with them. It was also like an outhouse. So they would just put all the stuff down here and bury it. And I found a couple of interesting pieces of metal and tools and stuff that were, so yeah, it was in layers too. Yeah. Lemon said there was many other basements too, but I can't remember what they look like. Okay. A very interesting layout of the house that you saw. Yeah, it's a history pit. And there were times about, especially, and also, Grace, there are bricks. There's bricks that are found, and some of them are kind of like sand. So those bricks were over 100 years ago, Civil War era stuff. And also, Grace, they had big mansions in the past, and it was probably part of those structures that, and after the Civil War, those mansions weren't used anymore. So they just were hollowed out and just collapsed. So that's where those bricks came from. I read about them. They came from the Mississippi River, and they made them into these, and they put them in those structures. And then when they got old and worn out, they tore them down and put other houses here in the early 1900s. So that was pretty crazy to learn about. Yeah. So there's bricks from different time periods. The bricks that are kind of like sand, those are from Civil War time period. And the other ones that are more harder are from kind of 1900s. And Woman said, but I remember the basement, number one, having bright. Okay, I read that. And I thought it was something else for a second, but it wasn't. So, yeah. And yeah, very fascinating. And this region was very swampy, and they filled it in at one point. They filled it in with clamshells and things to make it more like ground and to put houses on it. So it's very cool history. So yeah, and I would just explore it like archaeology, and also I would mine for clay. So I was obsessed with clay and making things out of it or using it for something. So I would get clay from the ground and put it in buckets. So, but then I can't just have a giant, like 3 foot hole just sitting there because somebody's going to break their neck in it. So I put this over it. Because something broke that twig. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Grace. Yeah. And it was very mysterious about this region being very swampy in this part, but not other parts. So this specific part is a little bit more swampy than the other regions. Hey James, I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I used to said I would mine for clay, and it was archaeology. And I would have relatives that would come in here sometimes, my older relatives, and when they fall into a hole, that's not really an ideal situation. So yeah, I put this cage over it, and as I said, the crawfish and the crayfish, whatever you want to call them, always came through this region. And I think me digging the hole here made it more watery, where water would stand there better. Oh, okay. Glad that you're doing better, James. Glad that we have you here. And so it's basically making an artificial, like bringing the swamp back, like making the swamp great again, so to speak. So yeah, and as I said, they are around here. And but anyway, that is the crawfish mound, and there's many of them all over the place, and there's one living in there right now. And I've seen them walk around in the holes, and there's all kinds of things chirping. I'm not too sure what is chirping, but there's something chirping. And as I said, dangerous poison ivy you have to watch out for. But as I said, this is where I would have poison ivy problems when I go back here. Yeah, and that right there is. Okay, thank you, mods. And that part you see under this elderberry tree, you have this mound right here, and the mound is housing those little critters love humidity, so they're just absorbing all the humidity. But yeah, they come out at night. Now we're in the early morning right now, technically, and since we're in the early morning time, they may not be out like they usually would be out, but yeah, they are down in there, chilling. You have to be careful that we don't see. Hey, frog. See, we were talking about frog, and there he is. You see, frog. This is where you live in this region right here of the yard. All those are frogs chirping. And there's a crawfish mound right here, a crayfish mound right there. So, we're in your natural habitat right here. Yeah. And he is lurking around, and there's probably like inside when this fills up with water, because it does fill up with water. That's where they're in their lily pads. The frogs. That's where they'd be in their lily pads. And when they do that, he would just be in there in just like a little private clubhouse right there. Hey, Mace. Good morning. Or good evening where you are, probably. We're doing good, Mace. We're exploring the swampy area. And we are having a fascinating time with talking about what's going on with this place. And we're having a cool morning. So this is a more spooky area. Of course, at night it's always spooky, but yeah, this region specifically. So The tree is cool looking. Yeah, the bark. Yeah. I said this is an elderberry tree. Like we always see the elderberry tree, but this is under it. And those are somewhere some crayfish, crawfish are, and they're underground, and they're just absorbing all the humidity because they like to keep things humid. But they usually build these things, the chimney stack right there, because they want to bring oxygen underground where they are. And as I said, this whole thing turns into a little bog, and as I said, we don't want people falling into it when it rains or anytime, so I close it up, but then it goes this underground. So yeah, well, I'm glad that I dug this out when I was a kid because it was cool finding the different archaeological discoveries and getting clay. But it's abandoned now, of course. It's not been used in many, many years. I'd say probably 2010 was the last time it was probably used or something like that. Then it just was closed up. Hello, Sandra. Good morning, Sandra. It's great to see you. Welcome. Right. And Jerry Frog says, "Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Hello, wonderful people. Alien spaceship. Howdy. Yeah, howdy. Yeah, historical bog. A historical fog. We got ourselves the frog, and you guessed it. It's going to be a philosophical log. Tug of war of information. Getting bit by mosquitoes is not fun, but we are in a swampy situation. Yeah, something's moving. Something's moving. Something's moving, but okay, I'm still alive. Okay, so I said, poison ivy chances are increasing, but I'm just being very careful here, just going from a different angle. I'm sure it's getting all over me. Who said the rhyme committed a crime? We're all just here on the spaceship sipping lemon lime. All right. Lemon says, anyway, have you seen the leaf insect before? They live near me, apparently, but haven't seen one since they live deep, deep, deep in the wilderness, and their name suggests looks like they're leaves. Okay, so Lemon, I see those type of bugs here. It may be a different variation what you have, but yes, we have them here. We have a couple of different kinds here. Yeah, we see them often, especially in the summer. Oh, okay, Mace. Have a good time with that. Oh yeah, we have the stick bugs. Okay, so Lemon, when I was in kindergarten, I was chilling and I saw this stick moving, and I was in disbelief. And they were telling me, "Bro, it's a stick bug." And I was just like, "Wow, that's crazy." It may have been from some insectarium or some zoo or something, but that was wild. That is cool, Sandra. Okay, okay. Thank you, Mace. You too, and thank you for your kind words. Blessings to you. Have a good day. All right. So we have these over here where it's okay. Oh yeah, the frogs. Okay, so Sandra, there is a frog. Okay, under my house would be a very great, cool place to explore. By the way, okay, kid said he doesn't see it. Oh, we don't see what exactly? So if you're talking about a frog, yeah, there's no frog on the camera right now, but we could hear them. They're like they're buried in there somewhere. Okay, that sounded a little bit disturbing, but anyway, they're in there somewhere chirping. Right. Okay, so in the crawfish are inside that. So we're outside the crawfish house or the crayfish house, and it's inside that little hole, and he has this place locked up. It's kind of like the Lord of the Rings, right? And the swamp Shire. right? And we're just hanging out outside his house talking about him. Okay, and another thing that occurred is the under the house there's a board, and I lifted up the board and I saw a frog just chilling there, like he owns the place. I'm like, you really? It's like I realized it wasn't in my house anymore, so I just put down the board, and I found different. At one time, there was an animal skull under there, and I was like, whoa! Like right when I like peeked in there, I looked to my right and I saw an animal skull. I was like, whoa, scared. So if it's just in there, I mean, imagine if you went further in under the house, you would see all kinds of things. It's also very cool under there. It's like so cool, and it smells like I've not been in a cave, but it smells like a swampy cave. So that was one of my favorite places to explore. I had not explored the whole thing though. But anyway, this is like an exploration of the swampy region, and that's an old tin can. That tin can must have brain-eating amoebas, in it. And look at that one. That's some like dark bottle of water, and I hear something moving. I don't. It's some kind of bug. I hear something moving, but anyway, I haven't seen any frogs for a while, but there's still hella toads here. Oh, there's toads. Like so many cane toads, I think. Oh, okay. So toads are something else that we have here, but I see frogs more now. Sometimes there's red-eyed tree frogs, and they came to America from different cargo ships. Okay, so you had cargo ships that were coming from different parts of the world, and they brought them here. But I've not seen the red-eyed tree frog in a long time. But we definitely have seen red-eyed tree frogs and the other, on the house and stuff. But yeah, I like the different types of frogs that are like in here or around the swamp and stuff. But yeah, the bullfrog, and the toads are something that are prevalent here as well. But I'd say frogs are more likely to see. I remember one time I saw that little frog. I saw a little toad, and he was just like hopping down the walkway, just casually. That's fun, Lemon. That's fun. Where I am, they eat frogs sometimes. I've never eaten a frog, but they'll have like the frog legs, and the frog legs start contorting and moving on their own. It's so I've not eaten one, but I've heard about people that do it. Oh, Grace, you have tiny tree frogs. Yeah. So basically, with the tiny tree frogs that are out there, they're usually, and I'm probably getting mixed up. I'd say there's probably more toads than frogs. Oh, yeah, Sandra, understood. Yeah, they do have frogs that look like that. The turd frogs. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, they sing like birds. Yeah, that is similar to ones here. Yeah, it was actually a toad that I saw, and it was hopping, and he was acting like I didn't see him or something. And I'm like, dude, I see you, dude. But I just like pretend I didn't see him, but he was like hopping, like no one could see him. Ash. Okay, aliens are birds. Ash, that is probably true because there are things called the Thunderbirds, and they look similar to the. That had to be some sort of extraterrestrial or something cryptid. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to be like that. Yeah. They're toxic. Yeah, I mean, there's rumors about if you touch a toad, you get warts. Apparently, now tell me about the toxicity of your toads, Lemon. I'm curious how that works where you are. But yeah, I. Oh yes, wishing you all the great day. Wishing you a great day too. One love. Yeah. I thought toads get a person high from. Like, Yeah, I've not heard of that, Ash. I've not heard of that one, but that is something. I guess someone tried. I guess a basement dweller probably tried one day. All right. Like if they'll sweat poison when you stress them out too much, and they'll mildly poisonous. Only when you eat them, though. Okay. Okay. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah. They do eat frogs here, but not toads, and I guess that's the reason why. Yeah. Oh, it's a defense mechanism. Okay. Understood. Okay, that's another one. That's pretty big. You hear that chirping? That's the frogs. Oh, LSD frogs. Yeah, it's a new frog species. Yeah, yeah. There you go. This is a piece of a roofing shingle. Yeah, so that is another crawfish mound. It's pretty big. I'm sure it's connected to that one. Yeah, like I said, this fills up with a lot of water when it rains. And that's some Timu Sheen water right there to not drink. And that's a Timu Sheen can. Okay. From tadpoles to frogs. Yep. It starts off as a tadpole, then it gets bigger and bigger into a frog. Yeah. So far we have seen we're hearing frogs everywhere, and we have just a couple of we have some crawfish homes, but they have not come out to interview. They've just been in staying inside for now. Okay, One Love says, I have wild rabbits. I observe what they eat because I know it's all good for me. Yeah, that's good. And I have some rabbits where I am too. Okay, and as I said, we're not going to have like a sunrise because it's cloudy, but this is the swamp tree. I mean, this is a palm tree. I have frogs under my house, and they live there. It's nice to hear them in the morning. Yeah, I like hearing frogs in the morning too, and also at night especially. All right, so hello, this is me, and we are in the swamp. This is my captain's hat. Okay, and let's see, um, back when I was a kid and was living There was a mango tree near the door in the kitchen because we had a door leading outside to the kitchen for some reason. Of and my mom used to go up there to the roof and pick those mangoes because it was pretty high up. That's delicious. I'm sure it was very good. Very good. Okay. And same thing with horses where they drink, you can too. Yeah. Yeah, it's if it's good for the goose, it's good for me. Yeah. Like if a sinking ship's happening and the rats are going somewhere, it's go to that direction. We also went up there like to hang laundry and stuff. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so we are in the exploring the spooky garden and some strange critters that are walking around, seeing how all that goes. Okay, so yeah, I believe that it's very fortunate that you had that. And very fortunate that you had that growing up. I'm sure mangoes are much better tasting than the ones in the U.S. Yeah, where I am looks probably like your home, where you see all the time, like where I am right now. Yeah, me from a different angle. Oh, thank you, Ash. I appreciate it. Yeah, and we also went up to laundry and do stuff that we're used to dip in shrimp paste. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. Very, very fascinating. All right. So, basically, we're exploring this, and I'm also got to be careful with the poison ivy and stuff that may also cause a problem too. But so far, so good. Okay. And let's go this way. This, for those that don't know, this used to be where a giant swamp tree used to be at. It was about over hundreds of years old, and early to like 2009 or so, it was my grandpa dismantled it for fun, and I had the wood saved. And they use that type of wood, oak wood, and the cypress wood to build different constructions. So there are snakes all over the place. Not all over the place, but they're here. Yeah, they are around. So that is where it was, and I used to dig. And as I said, this ash, I used to look for artifacts and things in here and mine for clay, and then I covered it up. It was abandoned. So now it's taken over by crawfish. Squirrels are very intelligent animals. They literally study if you keep coming to your property, that's because they see you as family. That is so cute. I like squirrels. We have them here. They just hide in the trees a lot. If you're wondering what it tastes like, I don't know either. I wasn't into shrimp paste mangoes back then. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I've had something like that before, but it probably tastes different where you are. But that's delicious with the mangoes. Delicious with the mangoes. Okay. Okay, and you're gonna be careful. And okay, it does have a hole. Look at that. We're gonna hover over it. Look at that, chat. There's a hole right there. Yeah, and I see that's where they get oxygen from. And, they had them all over the place here. See if we could find any more of them. Would be pretty cool. Okay, I'm walking back this way. If you're wondering what, okay, If a squirrel buries their nuts in front of you, you're a cousin. That's so cool. That's so cute. Shout out to the squirrels. Hey, that's another type of tree, chat, I've not seen before. What is this? Oh, there's thorns in there. Like there's if I go in there deeper, there's thorns in there. No, we have no moles or or burrowing rodents. This is below sea level and it's a very swampy region. Now, if you're wondering where all the cans and stuff are here, this place was kind of used for disposing junk sometimes. Not that it's like it's not like it's like a little junkyard I have, but if that makes any sense. So there's like different things they did for experiments and stuff, and some stuff were put here for that. And sometimes they use tin cans for different things, like for making little boats or experiments. So it was just kind of a place to store things. Yeah. Okay. And seeing how close we get to this palm tree, you see something snapped. Oh, we have a lot of fleas. Not really with ticks, but with fleas, we have that. Very beautiful palms. Without the light, you can see how dark it is. Yeah, fleas are definitely an issue. We have a lot of pets here. So that will also cause that to be a problem as well. Well, we don't use anything for ourselves. It's mostly the pets that we use. But T3 oil sounds like a good idea, though. I like that. I don't know what that does, but that would be cool to have. But we usually just use stuff for the pets. Yeah, so this is without the light on. We don't have groundhogs here. The closest thing to a groundhog that we have is called a nutria. We have those. Those things look like beavers with big orange vampire teeth. We have those, but beaver. The other things you speak of, not really groundhogs, though. Oh, that is okay. Thank you. Okay, now I understand. Thank you. All right, the mockingbird is mocking right now. Can I hear a cricket chirping? It looks like the frogs have stopped. Yeah, we have nutria. Yeah. So we are in the spaceship bog right now, and we are seeing if we see any kind of crawfish or crayfish walk around or any other kind of things. This is the spooky swamp region. We've achieved that level and going to see what's going on. Okay, thanks. One love. Yeah, mosquitoes are really bad here. Yes, it is freaky. It is freaky. The nutria. I saw one time, but besides that, I usually don't see them as much. They're by the water bodies. Yeah, and there are these at nighttime. The frogs really like to start chirping, and there's other kind of critters. I'm not too sure what they are, but but I know the raccoons and possums. But sometimes I see other things. I'm not too sure what they are. The ground feels very soft right there. Scared. Like right by this thing feels kind of soft. But yeah, it's kind of crazy when you're during the daytime and you'll see one just walking around just randomly in the grass, like it thinks it's a cat or something. Wait, let's see. Let's see. Is there something? Is there something there? Let's see. Heard something in that region, but doesn't. It looks like it went off. So yeah, I mean, when it's dark, we don't always know what things are. It's not always the knowledge of what could be or what isn't always there. Yeah, they like these type of areas. They're spreading disease everywhere. Exactly that where I am too. Scared. Scared's a line that I say the chat likes me to say, and I stuck with it. Scared. I'm trying to see if there's more. Okay, there's some of the sun. We're not gonna have any any kind of like a sunrise because it's a cloudy day. But you see right there is some of the sun coming up. If you fill a bucket of halfway up with water and add some shrubs like handful of dry leaves, then add a tablespoon of mosquito bites, it destroys the eggs. Just put it away from the house. Thank you. I'm glad I know that. I appreciate it. So we are observing the different swampy areas, and here a little bit more in daytime. Yeah, yeah, and a lot of times the critters and stuff walk around this specific region, and so on the map that I talked about passion about, where we would talk that the map of the region. This is the swampy, mysterious part, the bog. Yeah. Okay, and we used to burn some anti-mosquito incense oils, and those exist. Get those little flying pests to drop in midair. Oh, that's very cool. Now, do you remember, Lemon, what it was? What kind of incense it was? It's okay if you don't. Okay. And oh, thank you, love. Like every night we had to light up these incense. That's how bad it was. Oh, okay, understood. Yeah, where I am now, we have insulated houses here and closed doors. Now, 100 years ago, it was a little bit less, it was a bit more difficult 100 years ago. They used to have bug nets and stuff to try to stop them from coming into people's beds, and people used to have open windows. So back in the past, it was much more tedious. But now we have insulated houses with windows and things like that. So it's not easy for them to get into the house, but it's very bad out here. Like one time I was meditating on the ground, and there's so many of them all over my leg, biting me. It was crazy. So yeah, we have mutual issues with mosquitoes. Okay, it's see. My mosquitoes were so smart. They used to come to the pit incense, put incense. Oh, they're like okay. When I one time I was on this, I was fishing with my grandpa on the Pearl River one time, and we would go over the cliff, and not go over the cliff. But we would sit on the cliff and we would go fish. And the fish, put the line in there. We'd sit there, and then I would feel a tugging, and then we would pull it up, and that's what happened. We would pull up the fish, and then guess what? You see nothing. So that's what happened. We would reel in the fish, and there would be nothing there. The fish are so smart; they're able to get the bait, but you weren't able to catch the fish itself. And came with cockroach killing bait and stand to keep them off the floor. Yeah. So I had to deal with smart fish before. Yeah. That's some scenes of the morning. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, free food for the fish. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Saul. Yeah. All right. This is how we get out of this region. So we first do this. Okay, through here, this is where the critters come from, the different animals. And they walk through here at night. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Saul. That is the sun shining on the tree right there. Okay, one love. Have a blessed day. Hello, Zumi. Humanity, the Miami World Cup. Avoid going there. Is a reptilians and gray aliens will harvest everyone from the stadium. You have been warned. Thank you, Zumi. Moki told me about that for a couple of days now, and that is noted. Some alien abduction will happen. Thank you, Zumi. All right. Okay, so that's the sun shining on the trees. Okay, we're making our way out. Mainly raccoons and possums, and probably other things too. Look at that. We have some more of those leaves right there. I saw the Mexican raccoon, or the Cudamundi, over in the other yard, technically, but that was in 2008. Okay, let's go this way. Not my plans. I not yet. When the nets come in, I'm gonna do it. But thanks for reminding me. Yeah, the nets are coming in a few days. All right, and let's go over here. A butterfly. Look at that. A butterfly. That's a butterfly, Saul. It's pretty cool. Many mediums around the world are also saying the same thing, and none know each other. So I think the creator is sending the warnings worldwide. Amen. Although the creator knows what he's doing, and that he does warn his people about what's going on. Okay. So look at that pink flower. That's an okra flower. It's pink. Oh, awesome, Saul. That's facts. Okay, so we got that right there. We have those about to come up. A recap on what? This is the flower of the okra. So there's the recap right there, and there's the tomatoes. Okay. Okay. So the it's morning now, so the spooks went away. Some of them did, but not all of them. So there's still some spookiness in the garden. Okay, so over here we have the. Okay, so okay, Lemon. So this is the okra plant, and I was just what I was saying was I was showing this right here, which is a flower of the okra plant, and it'll produce the okra food. It's okay. It's okay, Lemon. I'll recap you. So we were talking about that, and the question was about, am I going to be putting the bug net on my plants, or did I do it yet? And I have soap and water and stuff to deter insects that try to get on them, so I'm good for now. But I am going to put a bug net on them, so especially the pumpkins and squash. So when something happens, when they start growing things, they don't get destroyed by insects and things like that. So, and I told her that they in a few days are going to be coming in, then I'll be putting them on the plants. Now, the pumpkins and the squash, whenever they produce fruit, I mean, not fruit, vegetables, that's when I put them on. And we'll see how it works. Yeah, okay, so that is a squash plant growing vertically. Rather than being taken over by vines, it's taking over the vine and climbing on it. Let's see. So he said, my friend a year and a bit ago told me that the reptilians take them, told me that my friend, they will enter people's homes and slaughter us all. Well, okay. Thank you for the heads up about that, and we will, by the Lord, our own self for defense and God's protection be upon all people about that. Amen. Well, I suppose the okra is a is a fruit, then I guess. Okay. Well, thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. Okay, so Lori, it's great to see you, by the way. And this is a pumpkin flower. Pumpkin flower. Well, thank you for warning us. We very much appreciate you. And said these are cousins of cotton, but they're not cotton. Oh, that is awesome, Lori, and delicious. Botanically a fruit, yes. Okay, and we have those are some artichokes. Oh, okay, Zumi. Blessings to you. Have a good day. Oh, look, the mockingbird preacher is about to preach. He's about to preach. Bro's about to drop himself a mixtape. He sees the beautiful garden and he's about to go sloop down and have himself a mockingbird date. He's mocking everybody just sitting there. He's in his high horse. It's his yard, it's his house. I'm just a guest. And it is all in his own house, even all the mouse attitude that trolls have. You see, the mockingbird's going to roast all of them. Mouse attitude. Mousitude. You see, he's just cleaning himself. He is like a gangster. A gangster. He's a gangster mockingbird. He does not care where he drops his turds. It's automatic good luck. He is mightier than the mightiest buck. That's the sky. It's kind of crazy looking. Yeah, it's funny how he always preaches there. I guess he's going to do mathematics and eat himself a pie. Yeah, we get crows, and they're kind of rude. They stalk real loud and go blah 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 blah. Oh, okay, understood. Understood. Interesting. That'd be a cool wallpaper right there. Yeah, I like that. And then we have the broccoli there. Lori said our crows follow squirrels around and take nut. The squirrel's just buried. That is some savage crows. Savage crows. Butterfly. Peaceful blessings on a Sunday morning. Thank you. Yeah, those are the pumpkins. All right, and that's the squash flowers. All right, and here I am. Yeah, so we have been on our Timu treasure hunt, and thanks, Lemon. We are on a Timu treasure hunt and observing. Although it's not going to be much of a sunrise because there's not a lot of sun because there's clouds everywhere. We're still, watching whatever is coming up, and yeah, and it's like I am glad to see the progress of the different plants because they're growing steadily over time. Yeah, so this is another region we'll be going into. We're gonna be checking on the bog region of the garden. And here we go, continuing this way. Okay, so now going through here, we're going back through this way, and look how big this is getting. Quite fascinating. Okay. Yeah, they are Timu. Okay, I will show you them when they come in. I have a couple of things coming in. Okay, Lori, I know you saw it, but I want to show you it live. Okay, here is the crawfish volcano right here. It's okay, Lori, I got him. He was saying, yeah, just he needs to work on his game, and maybe he could get a girlfriend if he worked on his game more. But he failed in his mission. So right here we have. Oh, okay, Lemon. Thank you for letting me know. But Lemon, I appreciate you coming here with us, in spite of your situation with the where you are with the internet. I appreciate you coming around. You're cool people. Right. So yeah, that's a crawfish volcano, and he used his saliva and his whole self, and I don't know how he did it because this dude, bro, had to like go a big arse crawfish, built that from underground, and then I guess it had to go from that way, like it had to go that way, from under there, and then put the top on. So, bro has work ethic. One per mound, apparently one per mound, which I don't really believe that at all, but it's one per mound allegedly. So and there's one in there. There's also other ones inside of there too. There's other ones in there as well. There's like you see one right there. Yeah, there's one right there. Um, you see that hole in that mound? Yeah, there's another one right there I just discovered. Yeah, the crawdads. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a crawdad hole right there. Another one. And that's another crawdad volcano. There, see? And this is where that ancient tree used to be, the ancient swamp tree. Yes, enough for dinner. Yes, enough for dinner. Okay, this is another mound right here, and they usually cover them so they can have a lot of humidity. Unrelated, but I remember one time when a deleted baby rat fell from a ceiling, quote unquote, which was just a few wood planks below some sheet metal while I was chilling. I freaked me out very bad. Bro, I remember, and that's some struggles right there. Okay, I remember when I was in my house and I saw a deleted rat and the cat just caught it, and we never had that before, and my mom's face just sunk. And another occurrence happened where there was possums too. A possum under the house that passed away. Yeah, Lemon, that is a freaky thing to happen. Okay. Bro just fell from the ceiling, poor guy, still blind, little pinky. Yeah. This thing was just fell out of nowhere. Dead baby rat. Yeah, rest in peace to the rat, but yeah, just it's chilling there and it just falls out. It chose to fall out right when you were there. It waited and it harnessed its existence until you came. Yeah. So that's another mount. That's another volcano. I'm trying to find as many as possible. And there's frogs chirping, Lori, the entire night, all over here. And Frog himself made an appearance with his thong and everything. It was crazy. Yeah. 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 We wade creeks in August to catch crawdads. Oh, that's awesome. You know, they're very delicious, and I'm glad you catch as many as possible. All right, found another one in a shoebox that was pretty fresh, but it stank. It had Sheen Timu stink. Scared. Well, chat, look at this. It looks like this is from my youth. That was from my youth. How in the world did it get here? Okay, so it looks like a toy car. It's messed up. It was out here for a long time. It must have been one of the toys I had that were left around here at some point. Interesting. Interesting find. They did not expect. Okay. All right, like it had the deleted rat smell, but it concentrated 1,000 times. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh. That struggle is real, definitely. We use a net on a long stick. So Lori says the way she catches the crawdad crawfish is we use a net on a long stick. They back away from you very fast, so you place the net so they back into it. Yeah, and they're real stupid, so they'll do that. Yeah. Okay, saw. There you go. There's the sunrise. All right, so shout out to the sunrise. Weather's pretty cool right now because it's cloudy and rainy. Ah, thanks, so. I'm glad that you like it. My pleasure, Saul. Yeah. I hear that mockingbird in the distance. I hear him. That is true, Saul. I hear the mockingbird in the very distance right now. Not really as talkative as he usually is. Yeah, it's more of a quiet morning. Usually, when the weather's like this, it's more quiet. Oh yeah, understood, Lemon. Uh, and well, we'll see about how that works. Yeah, that's a good question to look into because it's important. They need to send the Starlink out there. Thanks, Seven. Glad you like it. Well, I look forward to seeing it, Lemon. We'll see it in time. We have Starlink, but oh, okay, okay, yeah, and understood. So it is really, with the Wi-Fi systems over there. Hopefully, they can improve them, or you can figure out another way to do it so we can see those kitties. Yeah. I appreciate you describing it to me. Do you hear Mr. Mockingbird? Yeah, he's kind of out in the distance. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he moved right there. Okay, and he moved. Okay. So we got to see Mr. Mockingbird. Accidentally did something, but anyway. No one's fault but my own, as always. Okay. Taking it. We're looking up close. Yeah, beautiful flower indeed. Almost like we're inside it, like a bee. The birds are quiet. It seems after it rains and the stormy weather happens. They're more active when it's more sunny. It seems. I don't really know for certain if that's correlated, but that's what I'm noticing. You notice that too, Lori? Yeah. Lori said we have another 3-day heat wave coming Monday. It has been so nice and cool. Oh, okay. Looks like the weather's being flipped around because where I am, it's a little bit cooler right now, and where you are, it's gonna get hotter. Okay. See if we find cats. Okay, it doesn't look like. Yeah, they're not out here right now. Everybody's just like inside, I guess. Everybody's just chilling elsewhere because of the weather. Lemon said when I was in mid school, specifically sixth grade, freaky things were going on in the bathrooms because there was like little bathrooms in each class, not entire restrooms with multiple toilets, but for each class. Well, I'm sure it was crazy. I'm sure it was a horror story in there. The boys' bathroom in my school had stuff going on there, but nowhere near probably what you had happen. Here, Jiminy Cricket. There he is. Oh, look, he's preaching. Yeah, it's a cricket. Grasshopper. So anyway, there's a dude one day that decided to take a fat dump in there and not flush, and he also decided to smear his business on walls, doors as a joke or something. It was gross, and this went on for days. An unflushed poop in the bathroom. That's disgusting. There was someone that is allegedly related to that did something like that, and it's usually actually a sign of abuse, apparently, or something, or trauma, or sort of psychopathicness, or something like that. It's some sort of a sign of something like that. I'm sure it smelled like hell. Yeah. Scared. That'd be disgusting. Like, yeah, it's really cringe. One MF there decided to splash water on the light switch. I don't know, catch the culprit. Yeah, yeah, that is so stupid that the dude did that. Wow, wow, that is really cringe. Yeah, and yeah, Laura, exactly. The garden definitely has a lot of nice greenery to it, and it is very cool. I'm enjoying it. Very nice. Let's see. Uh, this way, I hear more of him right there. The Mr. Mockingbird. Okay. Now, uh, right here we have this light green, light green right here. Looks very cool. And this light green is quite interesting because it's different. Because sometimes you have like darker greens, and then you have lighter greens like that, which I think is quite nice. Yeah, so the pumpkins definitely will start growing, pumpkins eventually. And then that's usually need to be protected from different things. Okay, and right here, going into this area, we have more of the dark, you know, darker plants. Because see, a lot of these bring nitrogen from the ground, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have these other ones. Yeah, but it's mostly quiet, unlike the other days when it's more sunny. All the birds must be still sleeping or thinking they're doing something like that. Okay. Yeah, that's where the sun is, and the sun is completely not there. All right, Lori said I have to make coffee and take my son to work, but I'm still listening. Oh, thank you, Lori. Thank you for helping out, by the way, too. Well, that's a big droplet of water, by the way. Big droplet of water. Pretty cool. Scared. Hey, John. Good morning. Nice dark morning here. It's a very quiet morning, too. Hey, gonna be moving, so I might not be able to make it to go to your next stream. Oh, okay, John. Thank you for letting me know. And whenever you're able to come back, we'll be looking forward to seeing you again. All right. Good luck with your move. My pleasure. All right. He's gonna start preaching. He went away. We'll see if we hear our bird. Cool clouds. Okay, John. Let's hear it. Okay, why is that, John? Oh, okay. Yeah, because they can't find the home. Yeah, okay, I get it. Scared. Yeah, definitely a dark one. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's why uh, like Tom Riddle from Harry Potter, he couldn't play baseball. Yeah. Thanks, John. They can't find home. Yeah, I like dark humor and I need a good laugh. All this stuff that we see all the time, it is good to see. Appreciate it. And I've been doing the live streams a bit earlier, and I don't know, later or earlier, depending how you look at it, during the day to catch the sunrise. But of course, tonight I'm gonna probably be doing two different garden lives. But yeah, we're definitely doing the morning one too. And 'cause I remember sometimes we'll have it like in the nighttime. We'll all go through these different adventures with chat and stuff. So it'll be cool to see. That's a big close up right there. Okay, and okay, so you see that's lighter green and then darker green. Facts. Oh, there he is. Oh, what's that, John? Oh, okay. An American bee. I don't know what to call an American bee. A USB. Good one. I like that. It's a tallow tree, Lori. Ben Franklin brought these trees to the United States from China. It's known as a trash tree or like a weed type, like a vandal, a tree that spreads everywhere. But it's actually a pretty cool tree, and it turns different colors in fall. Oh, okay, it's called like a China ball tree. They grow in like the Georgia, Carolinas, and stuff, but they came all over the country. Sure, John. Oh, what is the difference? Yeah, it's considered invasive, and but they're known as ornamental trees. I like them, but a lot of people think they're pests. Oh, yeah. Okay, John. Yeah, yeah. Scared. It's a beautiful tree, especially in the fall. Oh yeah, popcorn tree. It used to be used for oil and making candles and stuff. They used to harvest them. Hey, fish dude. Welcome back. He is having opera. We were telling him that he couldn't do it, and he said, "Hold my little beer in my nectar." That's what he said. All right, John. Take care. Here. That's awesome sauce. Yeah. That's all that's visible from where I am. There's nothing really to see. But we got to see it a little bit before it got real cloudy. The sun not coming out makes the birds confused, but eventually they figure it out and they realize it's morning. The birds are going crazy indeed. And Shell, this is the crayfish, crawfish volcano. They come out of that. One of them sleeping in there right now, and there's another one over there because this is more like the swampier region of the area. That thing right there. Yeah. So I used to dig for things in here, and I also got clay from in here too. Many years ago, then I abandoned it and closed it up. And yeah, so sometimes we see crawfish walk around, or what they call crawdads, up there. The crawdad mound, a volcano. Yeah. So we've been looking at this, observing what's going on, seeing what we could see. And then going over this way. Oh, really? They've been in water. And you caught them sometimes fishing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes they'll just be walking around on the ground. They, I guess, since we're so close to the water, they like to, just walk around here sometimes. And yeah, because that's where they dig from underground. And they just come up here and they build those things with their, on their own. So they somehow went through the cage over here, put it there, and they put oxygen, and also they close it up sometimes. Yeah, there's no water in there, but when it rains, it floods that big hole right here. But yes, it's kind of funny when I see them. It's rare. It's not really common, but you'll see them walking around, and it's weird because you usually see them in water. But yeah, they come here on land. I guess we're very very close to the water and the rivers and stuff, so uh, it's kind of close by. But I've not seen any alligators here though. Here are more of those frogs. Interesting. Oh, some will leave the crawdad traps hooked to the dock as well. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because we are above ground, and we would have like an above ground one. But yeah, they're usually in water to here, but sometimes they come on land. It's like a plot twist. Oh, okay, understood, Joe. Yeah. So when the water underground gets flooded too much, they'll start burrowing upwards and seeking oxygen. They don't really need. They need it to some extent, but they could be underwater too. So yeah, it's a way that it's like underground, underwater, underground's like there's water underground, and then they push up later because we are below sea level, so it's an interesting thing that happens around here quite often. There's other ones inside of that cage too. There's other ones in there. So I think it's one per hole. Yeah, this is where the old tree was I was talking about, and yeah, and I would hang out right there. I would find different bottles and bricks and things from hundreds of years ago down here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and it was all like sediment layers of different things. Yeah, yeah, I said grounds. Yeah, grounds. The birds sound beautiful. I had a mean neighbor. The bird did not come around. Interesting. You see, animals and birds and stuff are very sensitive. Animals in general are very sensitive to bad people. So that's very interesting. Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of nice birds here. Thank you, Sandra. It's sunrise. My sky looks like yours because of marine layer. We hardly see sun till it dissipates. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have similar skies right now. Okay, thank you, Saw, for the feedback. I'm scared. Oh, you missed the rooster. Yeah, we have the roosters around here in the morning time. And when I was little, I would hear the roost. He would get on top of the fence and he would go cock a doodle doo, cock a doodle doo. That's what he would do. And but they're still around now, kind of wild chickens and roosters, and I'll hear them in the morning. But yeah, it's definitely a nostalgic thing. I agree. Yeah, because roosters are good for uh, waking up in the morning. It's a good alarm clock, and uh, they come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, and colors. I like them too. And that's where the squirrels. They're in that tree, and that's where the Mr. Mockingbird is dropping his bars and his opera he's doing. Oh, that's nice weather. Very nice. Right now it is 82, humidity 87%. But it doesn't really feel that bad though. Oh, highs in the 90s starting tomorrow. Okay, for you. Yeah, that's nice weather. So right now it doesn't feel bad, but it's still warm and hot, but it's not that bad. She said, "Hush, it's down here." The squash plants look heart shaped. Oh, hey, fishing. Good to see you. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. Oh, that's awesome fishing. That's great. I don't have carrots right now, but I don't mind planting them. Yeah, it's the Clodster. Yeah, lazy Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah, he's very big, and his socks are always clean. The memes that we made about this cat would be hilarious. Yes, that is true. They sleep during the day and they hunt at night. Yeah, it's a baby lion. Yeah. Yes. Sandra, there's actually a scene. There's actually a scene that happened where I was in the back where the plants are, and he came through the woods with a big fat rat in his mouth. So he definitely gets them. Yeah, definitely funny. Indeed. He appears in all the places you wouldn't think he'd be at. That's what he does. Snake eyes right there. And here are some more of the different plants that we're having here. It's all looking good. That's the tomatoes. A nice peaceful Sunday. Okay, and now at this point we'll be wrapping up the stream. We have completed the garden stream. So, well, I'm glad what we did see today is the birds chirping because we weren't seeing them earlier. So that is pretty cool. All right, and it's right here on Cloudy. Okay, Lori, take care. Thank you. I'm glad that y'all came. Thank y'all for coming. Hello, Anna. Good morning. There's no, yeah, there's no trials today, but we could play one at some point. That's fine. I usually don't play them on the weekends, but I mean on like the Sundays, but I don't mind playing it. We would play the rest of that trial we were watching before. By the way, it's a very good trial, Anna, that you showed us. By the way, it's very good. Has a lot of crazy moments in it. Okay, but yeah, as I said, I don't mind playing it today. It's fine. Just keep an eye out for it. All right, and here is. Oh, that's good. That's good. I got some sleep too the other day. Yeah, and this is Claude. He's taking a lazy day, hanging out. and saw. Oh, okay, Anna. Okay, 'Cause I don't mind doing it. Yes. So thanks for coming, and have a wonderful Sunday, and take care.